because my point is also that like women's issues shouldn't negate men's issues either, like at all. And it's unfair.
What issues do you have as a woman? What issue do you have? What issues do y'all have? I would love to hear.
We're not always safe in all spaces.
Who's safe in all spaces? I'm not safe in all spaces.
Yeah. Actually, no, I agree with you, but we're more subject to other
you preaching
forms
before
of
that you're a protector. I mean, you're going to be safer in a lot more spaces.
So you
than I'll be.
should
That's
actually not true.
I'm more likely to be assaulted.
I'm talking
you
about
are.
Sexual assault. Let's talk about that. That's what I mean. I didn't want to like go all the way there, but that's like a main thing that women have to worry about literally every single day, even just like on their
And
phones.
the solution to sexual assault,
like walking outside.
Strong men.
Actually,
who will protect you from sexual assault. That's the solution to sexual assault, is more strong men.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying my whole point is that our issues shouldn't negate men's issues, and society is set up unfair for many people in many ways. But to say like, oh, well, feminism is just like man hating, it's just like a myopic view of it.
It's really not.
But it should be womanism as well. Feminism is problematic because that's feminism.
Yeah, I don't think men and women should be equal.
You don't think?
No.
High five, May we please change the subject?
What do you mean? How so?
I don't think we are equal. I think men have a different role in this world, and so do women. We have opposite roles.
I think we should have similar opportunities, perhaps, but the choice is for the opportunities, because everybody.
I think if a woman wants to live a masculine lifestyle, that's her decision, but it's not the right one.
Oh.
and I think that.
Okay, wait. I wasn't co-signing all of that.
Well, for procreation, like women are.
So we don't need to procreate. There's 8 billion.
What about LGBTQIA?
I don't support.
Oh shit.
Disavow.
Do you know in America the death rate is higher than the birth rate? We do need to procreate.
There's 8 billion.
I just want to address one thing. A few of you guys said when we were bringing up the being assaulted and stuff, being worried walking home at night. Actually, men are more likely to be victims of violent crime.
Violent crime, probably.
Who's more likely to commit violent
we're talking,
crime?
Yeah,
it doesn't.
facts.
That doesn't.
But also,
men are still the victims.
The gender of the perpetrator of someone who has victimized you doesn't undo the fact that you've just been victimized. Yeah. So it's kind of. You're right. Irrelevant.
But you can't negate like who are the main perpetrators and who are like the victim. Like what is exactly? It's a men problem. What's that got to do with women? When I spoke earlier, I was like primarily talking about sexual assault, and that is not to negate all of the men that have been sexually assaulted at all. But if you want to look at the numbers, primarily women are at a higher victim.
Not if you look at the prison statistics.
Men are prison is horrible in general.
So if you look at everything, men are more likely to get sexually assaulted.
But my point is that like women didn't create prisons. Like we didn't set up the systems that are causing the damage.
We benefit from them.
And you didn't create the world either.
I said women benefit. Exactly. I said women benefit in certain ways, and men do too.
So you think that if women happen to have been in charge?
No, I'm not saying that.
Can you stop interrupting?
Sorry.
If women happen to have been in charge, you think they wouldn't have established a justice system that includes incarceration?
No, I think the way that the American industrial prison system is actually just fucked up in general, and people shouldn't be put in cages. There are examples of other countries that actually rehabilitate their
like
incarcerated
Norway?
people.
Are you talking like
and
Norway?
I'm not. This is very like socialist, like
you don't believe in going to jail?
No, that's not
Can
what I said.
Can we just talk about rainbows and butterflies?
No, I was
please?
gonna say, can we get to like some fun questions?
Wait,
honestly,
I
we're really fucking
Can we
deep.
please just
talk about dating? I go all day about this shit.
I'm
but
only
like,
gonna say that
this ain't fun. Like it is fun, but it's not.
I do want to. Let's bring it back to dating. Let's try
we're
that.
getting real
dating.
But just on the whole, like, well, it's done by other men, so it's just like, so men are killed by other men, therefore that's not a problem.
I
like,
think
I don't understand.
okay, let me put it in one thing, and we can honestly move on. 10
seconds.
seconds. The issue is not male, female. That's all shifting social norms and practices. The issue is people in power. Power corrupts people. There's plenty of Stanford Prison Experiment. Go watch it on Netflix. That is a perfect example about how any person that gets power can it can corrupt them. Same with
That's so true.
yeah, like
What-
you
what
study
does that
like
have to do
Nazi
with this?
But
Germany.
people are always
That's what
gonna
I'm
have
saying.
power.
So
That
you're
doesn't make
making it a
sense.
male-female issue, and it's becoming divisive when really the issue is how we should look at our similarities and how we can help each other. And it's like not productive to be
But,
like, well,
I
this,
agree
what
with
about,
that.
what about isms?
But
Well, I agree
no,
with him saying.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I mean, but you have feminists to blame for this because feminists, the core tenet of feminism
Yeah.
is the patriarchy theory. Men as a class were the oppressors. It's basically Marxism, communism. Men as a class oppressed women. Women as a class are the oppressed. What does that teach women to feel about men? Nothing good.
Yeah.
If you teach this to women, you're basically teaching women to have contempt for men. And that's what we're seeing playing out in real time. Feminists are the one who have perpetuated
Yeah.
this patriarchy theory. Feminists are the one who pitted men against women and women against men. Now we as men are pushing back and we're saying, actually, no, there are some things that are shitty to us too.
Mm-hmm.
So
I-
we're
I-
playing the feminist game
Yeah,
now.
I agree. Feminism is actually really problematic in its whole ideation from the beginning of its conception. But it literally, my whole point is that I'm agreeing with you, is that men's issues shouldn't negate women's because there
I
are
agree.
no,
I agree
yeah,
with
and
you.
women's issues should not negate men's, because women can't just be like, well, you guys don't have to deal with this, so shut up. Like, you created this. Like, I am making the point that like we are not to blame for the benefits that we do get for, you know, like being pretty girls and getting in free stuff and stuff. Men don't get that privilege. Men are very shit on in society, and they don't get to enjoy certain things like women do, and they don't get to
I
have the
think
same
men do
freedoms
get
when
those
it comes to
privileges.
expression.
You go ahead, then
Go
you
for
go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
said I think men do get those privileges sometimes.
Sometimes.
A lot of men
Uh-huh.
that I
Generalization.
have been with, and like even girls that I've seen on this show have said, I have literally paid for a bum ass dude our whole relationship. And it's very common because men are more feminine now.
That's
and
the
not
exception,
masculine.
not the rule.
Yeah, we are talking in generalities.
Yeah.
in-
I have a
in
question.
this aspect.
Brian, if
What's
we
up?
lived in Brian world, what would laws look like
What would
the
laws?
sense in the sense of like equality? Like, would women have the right to vote? Like, I'm just wondering.
Well, I have total power.
Uh-huh.
I get rid of voting, first off.
King
I
Brian.
know.
Okay,
A
I'm-
dictator.
I know.
Sorry,
I know.
I'm keeping the power.
I'm just gonna be the
This is
dick.
going to be an authoritarian regime. I will
How many
lead us.
concubines?
I will lead us to the promised land. First off, here's what I do. The big thing is. Big thing. There's a. Wait, actually, I have a list here. Should I
You have
pull
an
up my
already
list?
written
Yes.
list.
Is
I'm-
it called
Oh my
Brian Land?
I'm planning for when I
World
overthrow.
domination?
Yeah, I'm gonna stage a coup d'état and get rid of the American government.
Storm the Capitol.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
That's
take
so
over.
storm the Capitol, but in a
no,
good
well,
way.
The whatever
I won't get into that. But so,
Reason.
was that like a serious question or just?
Well, no, I just like because this is where
I'm
my
interested.
mind went. I also agree. Feminism is a man-hating concept, but I also am so proud to be an American, and I love the freedom that I have with my country. And if I were back in the 70s, I do think that I would fight for the right to vote. I would fight for the right to work. I have 2 jobs. I love to work. It's, you know, but one day I also want to be a mom and all those things. So I think that there is somewhat of a balance. Like, I think that the feminist movement did achieve some good things, and this is kind of what I'm asking you. Do you think that the feminism movement as a whole should have just not happened, and it should have stayed, you know, pretty cut and clean, women in the house, men go to work? Or do you think that we could have a little bit of improvement?
So are you talking like throughout history?
Where do you think the feminist movement should have stopped?
Oh, that's good.
Well, I mean, you know, even the early suffragettes. First off, they were the early feminist movements. If you look up the Seneca Falls Convention or something, in any case, feminists were brutally racist.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's just like a.
That's what I mean. It's fucked up from the start.
I mean, I believe in egalitarianism. So true equality between men and women, that's not feminism.
Okay, I agree.
So I mean, I think
Well, I don't agree with egalitarianism.
you don't agree with egalitarianism.
Yes, but I'm sorry.
So would you say you
Continue.
want equity, not equality?
No, I certainly don't want equity.
No.
Equity means playing your role and having it, dividing it. From my understanding, I could be wrong. Equality is like everybody gets exactly the same thing handed to them. Equity is everybody gets what's handed to them that works for them specifically based on their like identity and intersectionality.
I'm in favor of equality of what's the term? Equality of opportunity, but I'm not in favor of equality of outcome.
Right. Yes, 100%. So
I see what you're saying, yeah, and I agree with you. But what I'm saying is, like, would you go more for equity then? Because,
So is equity equality of outcome? Because I'm not in favor of that.
No, equity is like, okay, so this person has.
It is about equality of outcome. Equity is getting what you need to achieve the same thing as everyone else. And that puts us in a communist kind of headspace where people lose the right to, or lose the
but some people
interest to think and dream and do great things and, you know, come up with
yeah,
amazing
I'm
ideas.
not going for communism here at all. I just mean like some people are historically more disadvantaged than others based on their identity.
What identity are you alluding to?
Let's just go for
Like
racism.
okay.
Yeah, like there's clear racism that's not a secret, and some people have disadvantages, systematic disadvantages because of that.
Like
so
men?
So equity, some men have disadvantages, yeah, and you're all the layers
Actually,
of your identity.
all men in this country are systematically discriminated against.
Okay, it's almost grandma's bedtime. Can we please change the subject?
Yeah, we're gonna.
I
go
mean,
in
if you
circles
want, you
forever.
can leave. Like, I mean, we're just talking about it, but
let's throw some fun stuff in there because, like,
Let's lighten it up a little bit.
a little bit. Like, what's everybody's kinks? Come on, say it. Come on.
Respect.
somebody mute her mic for 7 minutes so she doesn't bring it back to intersectionality and.
Hey,
All right, let me move
had
it
my
on.
10
Let me move it
second
on. Let me move
piece
it on.
and, you know.
All right.